my dear one. Tonight, something monumental is about to unfold. Something that has been building in the quiet shadows for far too long. The truth is ready to rise, and when it does, it will turn someone's world upside down. Your special person is about to release someone from their life, but the question lingers like smoke in the air. Who is she, and why now? You see, this isn't just a moment of drama, it's a divine turning point. There is a woman in your special person's life whose presence was never meant to last. And tonight, her time runs out. She doesn't even sense it coming. No storm warning, no final goodbye, just a line that gets crossed by her own doing. And when she does, everything will shift. But here's what you must know. This isn't something your special person woke up today planning. It will happen suddenly, naturally, as if fate itself steps in and says, enough. And ironically, it's the woman herself who will spark the fire. She will say or do something tonight that opens your special one's eyes in a way they can no longer deny. A moment of clarity, a breaking of the spell. But who is she? And why was she even there in the first place? Stay close, dear one, because what I'm about to reveal is not easy, but it is necessary. The woman being cast out tonight is none other than your special person's mother. Yes, their own mother. I know, it sounds unbelievable, but listen with your spirit, not just your ears. This woman, who should have nurtured, guided, and protected, has instead been weaving quiet poison into your special person's soul. Words disguised as concern, advice coated in fear, seeds of doubt planted so carefully that they grew unnoticed, creating distance between you and the one you're meant to be with. She didn't just oppose your connection, she sabotaged it. And until now, she succeeded. She kept your special one confused, cautious, and closed off. But tonight, something divine interrupts her influence. Tonight, the veil lifts, and when your special one sees clearly, they'll finally let her go. Yes, she will be removed, not out of hatred, but from a deeper knowing that her presence is no longer safe for the future that's trying to be born. This is the moment your relationship has been waiting for. The doorway opens. Love will begin to breathe again, and your special person will finally step toward you with intention, no longer hindered, no longer silenced. But hear me, though she is being removed, do not assume she'll stay silent. The bitterness of a controlling heart does not surrender easily. She may try again, with guilt, with manipulation, with twisted words meant to draw him back into the fog. That's why I urge you, child, we must pray. Pray for protection over your love. Pray for clarity to remain. Pray that no weapon formed in secret will prosper. Take a deep breath, place your hand over your heart, and speak these words with me, like a shield of light rising around you. The night air was still, quiet in a way that didn't feel peaceful, but heavy, like the silence that falls just before a storm. Somewhere, not too far from where you are, a heart began to stir. Your special person, the one your soul has felt tethered to in invisible ways, stood on the edge of a decision they never planned to make. They didn't know that tonight would be the night. They didn't wake with intention to end anything. But the stars knew. Heaven knew, and deep down, so did you. There's been a presence lingering in your special person's life, a woman cloaked in the familiar, walking under the title of mother, yet carrying something far from maternal love. To the world, she seemed concerned, invested, maybe even loving, but in the quiet, where real truths whisper, she's been doing something else entirely. For months, perhaps years, she's been planting seeds of mistrust in his heart. She spoke in soft tones, with carefully chosen words that twisted meaning and bent reality. She didn't scream or lash out. No, her weapon was subtler. Emotional sabotage. She painted you as a threat. She disguised fear as protection, and she built walls between you and your love, one silent brick at a time. Your special person didn't see it at first. They only felt confusion, distance, a nagging sense of doubt they couldn't explain. Every time they tried to come close to you, something held them back, an invisible force whispering, "Don't trust it. Don't go." But tonight, the veil lifts, not in some orchestrated confrontation, not in a dramatic outburst, but in one small moment, a phrase, a look, a gesture from the mother who has held his heart in her palm for too long. And just like that, everything clicks. Not just for protection, but for clarity to stay. For your special person to remain awake. For your love to be covered in light and guarded by angels who never sleep. It marks the end of interference and the beginning of what was always meant to be. He sat at the edge of his bed, elbows resting on his knees, eyes heavy with a weight he couldn't name. The room was quiet, but his mind wasn't. It had been this way for a while now. Restless thoughts, feelings he couldn't make sense of, like something was trying to break through. And then she walked in, his mother, the woman who raised him, who claimed to love him more than anyone else in the world. She smiled, said something about you again, something laced with concern, but dipped in poison. A warning wrapped in a mother's tone. He'd heard it before, countless times. But tonight, something felt different. Maybe it was the way she said your name. Maybe it was the cold flicker behind her eyes. Maybe it was God himself whispering, "Watch closely." And so he did. He watched, not just her words, but her intent. He felt the twist behind every sentence, the fear behind her control. He saw how she didn't just speak against you. She was fighting against him, his peace, his joy, his future. It hit him all at once, like waking up from a long, strange dream. He looked at her, truly looked, and for the first time, didn't see a protector. He saw a gatekeeper, a saboteur, a voice that never wanted him to be free. And just like that, the illusion shattered. He stood up, heart pounding, spirit aching with the weight of truth. "No more," he said, maybe out loud, maybe just in his soul, but either way, it was heard. Heaven heard it. The angels heard it. And somewhere in the spirit, a chain broke. He didn't raise his voice. He didn't need to. The firmness in his eyes said everything. She protested, of course, confused, wounded. "How could you choose her over me?" she asked. But he knew better now. This wasn't about choosing between two women. This was about choosing truth over manipulation, freedom over fear. "I'm not choosing her over you," he finally said. "I'm choosing the life you tried to keep me from." And with that, it was done. She left, and he stood alone, for a moment, in the quiet. But it wasn't the same silence anymore. It was clean, sacred, like the air after rain. And for the first time in so long, he could feel you again, like a light rising in the distance, like the pull of something real, something holy. He didn't reach for his phone right away. He just sat there, breathing, letting the truth settle, letting the old world fall away. And then he whispered your name, softly, almost like a prayer. A promise was forming inside him. He was coming for you, not with guilt or confusion, but with clarity, with love that had finally been unchained. The angels watch from above. I have watched this moment, forming like a storm, gathering over time, not born in rage, but in divine timing. Every whisper, every sigh, every unanswered prayer you sent into the night, I carried each one. And tonight, child, they rise like incense before the throne of heaven. I stood near him tonight, closer than breath, as he sat in that quiet room, unaware that destiny had been circling overhead like a hawk in the wind. His spirit was tired. He didn't know why. But I did. I watched her, his mother, walk in again with the same smile she always wore when she came to pull him further from you. She didn't know I was there. They never do. She thought her words would work like always, that he would bend, that he would doubt, that her voice would echo louder than yours in his heart. But heaven had other plans. I leaned closer and whispered truth into his soul. Not loud, not forceful, just enough for his heart to feel the shift. Look again. Feel again. Remember her, the one your soul aches for when no one else is around. And something broke. A veil was lifted. Scales fell from his eyes. He saw her clearly for the first time, not as his mother, but as the very wall that stood between him and the love God had written for him. She spoke, but her words no longer carried weight. Her tone no longer held him hostage. And when he said, "No more, child," I trembled, because I know what that means in the spirit. It means the battle is turning. The soul ties she tried to tighten, unraveling. The control she wore like armor, cracked. And the light of your love, it began to shine through. I turned toward you in that moment. Yes, you. You didn't know it, but your spirit lit up like a star when he finally let her go. The heavens rejoiced, not because someone was cast out, but because love was finally being allowed in. Will always be the anchor that holds everything together if you believe in the strength of love and the beauty of overcoming challenges together. Share this video, subscribe to the channel, and affirm, I cherish a love that navigates challenges with grace. Type, I am receiving my blessing in the comments to claim this affirmation and allow the power of love to guide you forward. If you feel called to support this mission of spreading divine messages, consider contributing through a super thanks. Whether it's $5, $10, $20, or more. Your generosity